Hey everyone, this is Zorric and Emma, hosts of the Date Podcast, and we're so excited to do another show for you. We've got a few thought-provoking topics we'd like to discuss, and the first is 11 tips for calming your nerves before a first date. How do you just calm yourself down, you know? So we're going to tell you guys how to do that, and also Netflix and chill, the feared phrase, maybe. We'll talk about what to do if someone says that and where it came from, and just how to deal with Netflix and chill in general. But first, we'd like to ask for your help. We're a brand new podcast on iTunes and Google Play. So if you like what you hear, subscribe to the podcast and please leave a review, hopefully raving review if you guys can. And also tell your friends about the podcast. We appreciate all the feedback and support. And to contact us, if you have any topics or questions or comments for Emma and I, you can find us at hello@datepodcast.com or on @datepodcast on Instagram and Twitter. All right, Emma, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so Blake Shelton
Yes.
just tweeted something that alludes to Miranda Lambert's rumored relationship drama.
Ooh.
How do you feel about that?
You know, Blake is now with Gwen. They both chose to separate. Leave it alone.
I think that's a rule. You should not talk about your ex in public.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of tacky.
Unless, I mean, even if they ended things on really good terms and, you know, maybe are secretly still friends and they hang out, they go hunting together. I don't know. Like, this is your ex-wife.
Yeah. Wait a second. Could there be something wrong with Blake Shelton's
relationship with Gwen? Does he want to go back to Miranda?
Maybe he
I
does.
I loved y'all together, but you better think twice.
Okay. I guess to be continued, right?
Right. Yeah, she did show up to the CMAs by herself, so that was like a big deal.
Oh.
Miranda Lambert showed up at the CMAs on her own.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Was that the first time she was at anywhere?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
She hadn't posted about him in a while, so it was speculation, and I think that like officially confirmed it.
She's a big deal too. So
It
I mean,
is.
she's not small beans. She's a big deal.
She is a big deal. Team
Okay.
Miranda Lambert.
I agree. I'll be on your team too.
Yes.
Okay, so first dates. They're nerve-wracking.
Oh, for sure.
It could be an interview. I know before I meet somebody, you know, it's you're nervous the first few minutes.
Because you're thinking of all the things that could go wrong, or all the things that they're gonna hate about you, or all the things that you're gonna hate about him or her. Like you're, you know, thinking about all the like red flags that could happen. You're just thinking all negatively.
Yeah. And like our minds are crazy because they just go in like the most negative. Like
Oh my
you just
gosh.
said.
I love the brain so much.
Yeah. And it's probably it's definitely not as bad as we always.
No, it's
think.
not. I think we really do catastrophize in our minds. Our brains are amazing at that. The anxiety is normal though. So if you're freaking out, like it's okay. So I like that, you know, that this article says like realize why you freak out, because it's true. Like realizing like what is actually causing your anxiety, like where is the root of the anxiety?
Yeah.
Are you nervous because you think he's not gonna like you? Are you worried, or her? Are you worried because you're not gonna like them? Like what is actually going on, and breaking it down.
Yeah. And that is the first point here for 11 tips for calming your nerves before a first date by Eva Taylor Grant in Bustle.com. Bustle.com has a lot of good information about relationships. But you're right, Emma. Our brain blows things out of proportion. And you know what I also think is maybe it's because my last date was terrible. He turned out to be a stalker. He turned out to be some MLM guy trying to sell me some stuff. I mean, and during the date, you just felt like stabbing yourself in the eye because it was just so terrible. But I think maybe if your last one was bad, I think they could kind of play a part, right?
It does, because again, it's you're expecting it to go bad because the last experience that you've had is bad. And so your brain is trying to make that connection of the last first date I had is bad. And that means that this first date will also be bad.
Mm-hmm. So they say that, okay, meeting somebody new can be a provoking and anxiety-provoking experience. But instead of thinking about that, figure out, again, where is it coming from? Mm-hmm. So try to figure out where it came from, and then you can kind of hopefully reframe your mind somehow.
Yeah, which you definitely can. I mean, again, like when you start like finding the root cause of the anxiety, it allows you to like be more willing to problem solve, and your brain is sort of like, okay, so this is not realistic. I know this now. And then your brain begins to make you feel like the anxiety is more manageable.
Yeah. And sometimes whenever I'm doing something and I feel anxiety or mm-hmm. some sort of panic, it could be presenting at work or during a show mm-hmm. or something like that. From Mel Brooks, that book called The 5-Second Rule, she says, mm-hmm. instead of thinking of anxiety, think of I'm excited. Associate these feelings with excitement.
Which, yeah.
It's the same that she's saying.
It is the same. Yeah. It is the same. It's just we experience, our brain has allowed us to like separate them and think about them as two different things. So we consider anxiety like more negative versus excitement like more positive, and mm-hmm. it's really the same thing. And so like you bridge the gap of, okay, so yeah, anxiety is excitement. What am I looking forward to?
Yeah. And that's exactly what I say before mm-hmm. anything. I'm like, no, I'm not anxious. I'm just excited. I'm excited. I'm alive. So that's how I deal with it. I don't know how you deal with it.
I will just say like I'm anxious about something, and I try to figure out like what it is that I'm anxious about. But I'm also a lot more aware of my anxiety.
Yeah, because obviously you're a professional. So, okay. So the next one here says, let yourself make plans that are safe and comfortable.
For sure. I think, I mean, that's also a way that you manage your anxiety about the situation is if you're, able to put your input in, you're able to control part of the situation. And so that just lessens the anxiety a bit more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So choose something that's, so the recommendation here is choose something that's a place that's familiar to yourself. Maybe a restaurant that, maybe you have friends that work there, or mm-hmm. maybe if you're a regular there, you go there all the time. So you kind of know the ins and outs of a place. And that will definitely, turn down the anxiousness just by a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
So, the next is plan the date to be relatively short.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Because I don't know if I agree with this one.
I'm okay either way. I think that planning the date to be short is playing it safe. And I think that sometimes if we look back about, the planning process, it has to do with safety. I think if this is what you need, this is what you need. Mm-hmm. So I'm fine if you're planning a short date, because what happens if you are on the date, you're not getting along, and now you're stuck on a boat ride? Oh, well,
so that's
right,
against the rules here. but you're on a roller coaster.
On a roller coaster with this person. I'm stuck with him for 20 seconds.
Oh, you're on the space or like Reunion Tower here in Dallas.
Right. Yeah. You're stuck with this person and you can't make a connection with them. Mm-hmm. So definitely see both sides. What do you think?
I would say she says you should have an exit. I can't even. She says you should have an exit plan, right? Exit plan. Yeah. But like a friend calling or a fake emergency. But why don't you just stuff your face with your burger and just end it quickly? Like why does it have to be so abrupt? I mean, just eat faster, right? I don't know. I feel like that's kind of dishonest. I
agree with that point. I think that if you're not and your date is longer than what you wanted it to be, I think it's like, hey, thank you so much for the evening. I'm not feeling a connection.
Yeah.
whatever it is that
Why
you
don't
have to
you do
say,
that?
but
That's
be
good.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like, what if you're like playing putt-putt, right? And there's like 10 holes you have. On the
That's
first
not
hole.
a short
I'm
first date.
on the first hole. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is
I
gonna be
can't
terrible.
stand her anymore.
Yeah. You know what I would do if I was a woman? I'd be like, hey, I'm pregnant.
Oh.
Oh, drop the bomb.
No.
I guess not, right? Okay. All right. Speaking
Which
of putt-putt.
what we said it goes against this one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh. So the next one says, don't just go to dinner or drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I like that one because the first date, you're really trying to get to know somebody.
Right.
And if I'm playing putt-putt, I'm focused on getting the putt in the hole, the ball in the
Right.
hole. I'm not talking to you. Right. So I get kind of distracted. I like to see somebody one-on-one and talk to them one-on-one. What do you think about that?
Yes, I see. Again, I see both ends or both sides to this one. I like the other suggestion that they have, which is going to an art gallery, because I think you can still have those moments of intimacy, and you can still, talk to them and ask them questions and still get to know each other. And at the same time, you're doing something that's not just dinner and drinks. You're at an art gallery experiencing art.
Mm-hmm. You're pondering
Yes.
the Mona Lisa. Or the-
No, that's in Paris.
Oh, what if it? That's a long date to Paris, by the way.
Yeah,
Guys,
don't go to Paris on your first date.
Don't do that. Okay. So the next one says here, go on a date with yourself first. So this is more of like self-reflection, right?
Right.
Emma?
Yeah.
Tell me what you think that means.
Just kind of like knowing who you are, not judging yourself, figure out, for me, it's like figuring out what you like about yourself, not putting pressure on yourself, not critiquing, not judging. So,
Because we all have flaws.
right. We do.
And so does your date.
Yes.
And so if you accept yours.
And sometimes they might have more flaws than you.
You might be winning. So yeah, accept all your flaws, whatever they may be.
Exactly.
And because it says here, we perceive even the smallest flaws that our peers never recognize. Our own
For
smallest
sure.
flaws.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, go on a date with yourself, and which means just realize you have flaws, and so does everybody else.
And accepting them. Like,
Accept it.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Gotcha. The next one is really important to me. Stress. So manage stress levels on the day of.
Yes.
Because you don't want to have a date at the end of the day, but have a super stressful big presentation for like the board of directors in the morning. Because I don't know if I would make it to the date because of all the stress that I'm going through at work.
At the end of that day, I just want to go home and lay on my couch.
Yeah.
In fetal position.
And
Cry a little bit.
And watch The Notebook or...
Yeah, or The Office makes me feel better about myself.
something with some chuckles.
Seeing Michael Scott like ruin his presentation would make me feel better.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because you'll be like, I'm better than Michael Scott.
Yes.
Way better.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Michael Scott is the best.
He is very funny. So they also say schedule a date on days when you aren't working. So maybe take off, or you're not going to school. And that will definitely kind of turn the stress down. Mm-hmm. And the next one here says, get a playlist going. So,
which I think goes back to like managing your stress level the day of.
Yeah, because I think music really, it says here, music really affects your mood.
It
Just
does.
like when I'm about to, go on run or work out, I'm listening to like heavy metal, like screaming and yelling. So in this way, you can play something like relaxing, like maybe some jazz or maybe some classical music.
Or like if you have your playlist of songs that you play whenever you're anxious or when you have to motivate yourself, do it.
Should it be like love music? Like Mariah Carey?
No, I'm saying far away from that.
No? Okay. What's on your playlist? Like what's number one?
What's my go-to?
Yeah.
I love gangster rap. So
Oh my gosh.
I need like a Tribe Called Quest. I need Biggie. I need Tupac.
Oh, okay.
I need old school.
I thought you'd be more of like a Drake or maybe a Taylor Swift.
I can put a little bit of Drake in
Yeah.
there. Taylor Swift, not when I want to manage anxiety.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Mine would be T Swift probably, and just play that over and over and over again, and I would sing along during the drive, and that would get me in a great mood. Okay.
Wonderful.
Don't judge me.
I'm not judging.
Don't.
I appreciate your honesty.
That's one of my flaws. Okay.
Thank you for being vulnerable with us.
Definitely. We all have flaws. Okay. So also realize the other person is nervous too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
anxiety is something that we all experience. Anxiety used to be, anxiety was useful back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I think now we view it more negatively. It's still useful. It still puts us on alert. Like it still keeps us safe.
Yeah.
So anxiety is fine. It's fine that we're anxious.
Yeah.
We just gotta learn how to manage it.
Yeah. Yeah. The person across from you is probably feeling even more anxious or less anxious like you
Yeah.
said. So realize that.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is don't talk about it with too many people. I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's not good because it puts expectations and pressure.
Yes.
Because the next day everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, how was your date? How was he?" You know.
Do you remember? Okay, I'm going back to The Office. But do you remember the Office episode where Pam goes on a date for the first time after she broke up with Roy?
No.
And okay, so she goes on a date with this guy. I think Kelly set her up with. And so the people from the office find out, and Stanley and Phyllis are like, you have to order the most expensive item, and then Stanley's like, but if you do, you have to put out. And Pam's just like, what? So
That's funny.
I think a lot of people, like, you're getting plenty, like, a lot of point of views and
Yeah.
a lot of opinions, and then like you're already anxious, and now you're having people tell you more things, so
Yeah.
it's adding to your anxiety. It's snowballing.
Yeah, and it says here that you might get a lot of that advice that might contradict, and
Right.
like you said, you'll get more confused. So yeah, and I just think it just puts more pressure on the next day, because what if it was
Right.
the worst date ever? Then all your friends are gonna crowd around your cubicle or office and ask you, and it's just gonna be kind of a walk of shame.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're really comfortable being honest about how horrible the date went, I don't think many people are that way, and you want to share like a different experience. Like, the date was so amazing. It was so great. It was wonderful and beautiful.
Yeah.
Not, he was absolutely the worst, and I never want to see him again in my life.
You can just, you can just call in sick.
Yeah.
Then people will forget, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
So the next one is think of friendships first, which I don't know if.
This is my mantra.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my good friends always brings me back to this. She's like, hey, remember? Friendship could come out of it. And I'm like, you're right. Friendship could come out of it. So a lot of, this is my mantra when it comes to like dating. It's, hey, friendship could come out of it. Like,
But are you looking for a friendship?
I am not.
Okay. But
However,
I
this
understand.
is a helpful mentality
Yeah.
because it lessens the pressure and the anxiety.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I think once you're a friend, it's just hard to come back.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you agree with that.
I do.
Yeah. So.
But it's not like so. But I'm not thinking of like I'm going on this date just to be friends with them. Like, I'm telling this to myself as a way to calm my nerves down. And then if the date doesn't go well, and maybe I see myself being more friends with him than in a romantic relationship, then like allowing myself to be okay with that. And if he agrees, then okay, it's fine.
Yeah. Maybe it's setting expectations low. So then if you guys do become romantic, then my gosh, it sparks, and it's better than you thought it would be. Yeah. So, and the last one here says, if you start to spin out, be mindful.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on being mindful?
I practice mindfulness daily.
Okay. For us who don't know, what the heck mindfulness?
So
what is that?
So mindfulness is allowing yourself to come back to the present moment. And so if you're spinning out, if you're, thinking of all the situations that could go back, it's about coming back to the present moment. So what's going on in the present moment?
Oh, I was checking my phone. Did you say just say something?
So
Is that what you mean?
No, that's you needing to work on your mindfulness. So that's the example of what we're trying to avoid.
Okay.
So it's focusing on your 5 senses. That could be one of those things. So like, what's something that you can smell? What's something that you can taste? What's something that you can touch? What's something that you can see? What's something that you can hear? Can you focus on your breaths? Are your breaths shallow? Are they deep? Are they even? Are they uneven? Can you try to get your breath to be even? Name 5 things that are the same color. Pick a color.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of things just to bring you in the moment. And so if you're noticing yourself like freaking out on the date and you're out with someone, it's more of a, okay, you know, what can I see right now? What can I taste right now? What can I smell? And it really brings you down to like the moment again so that you're not spinning out.
So what I'm getting from that is you kind of push away all the distraction.
Mm-hmm.
So when you focus on like a sense, then or whatever it is, it's just focus on that one thing, and it kind of decreases your stress or anxiety just a little bit more than it was, which is great. Which is great.
And the purpose is like if you use it on a daily basis, you're always able to calm yourself down when needed.
Okay. So those were 11 things to do to calm your nerves before a date, everyone. So try these out. Emma, what's your main takeaway from all of these?
Allowing yourself to be anxious and just kind of figuring out like where your anxiety is and, you know, learning how to manage it and using your mindfulness skills that I've just taught you.
Okay.
Yes.
Everybody, not just me, everybody.
Yeah, Zorric included, even though he was checking his phone. It's fine. It's fine.
I think my main takeaway is putt-putt golf isn't the best first dates. Because that's at least guaranteed 2 hours.
I like how mine was like serious and legit, and yours is like
mine is
putt-putt golf.
Don't diminish.
All right, I won't minimize.
Please
I apologize
don't.
for minimizing. Hi everyone, this is Emma. I've recently found a dating app I've enjoyed using, Bopsy. Simply, it's video speed dating. Bopsy gives me the ability to meet 6 guys through live video. At the end of each session, I pick either C for like or bot for dislike. When we both like each other, we continue the connection over chat messaging. Check it out today at bopsy.com.
And it's time for our next one. So when you get a text message or message on Tinder or Bumble that says, "Hey girl, let's Netflix and chill."
Ugh.
What? How do you feel?
I roll my eyes.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, are we in middle school? Are we in high school?
Yeah. Actually,
No.
I've never ever uttered that name or that phrase to anybody or received it. So maybe I'm in a different era.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, I take it back. We used to call it the Notebook. Back in my day when I was in high school and in undergrad. So it was more of a, hey, do you want to come? The guy would ask you like, hey, do you want to come over and watch Notebook? So that was like our Netflix and chill.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see.
Well, and then before that, it was like the Titanic. I was watching Titanic.
It was okay. That's funny.
So that never happened to you? Like being invited to come over and watch Notebook?
No.
Oh, no one Notebooked you. Okay, cool.
Yeah, plus I'd be like, hey, I don't want to watch the Notebook. I want to watch something else. Or like, let's watch sports. But then I'd probably
kill the mood.
Kill the mood.
That's probably why you were never asked.
Definitely. I see now. So it says here, this is an article called Students Divided Over Netflix and Chill Online Dating Phenomena, and this is in the everamillion.com blog by Aaron Gonsulian. And so the term Netflix and chill was popularized on Twitter, was first coined back in 2014 as slang for relaxing and watching TV, according to Splinter News. So
I think it's evolved, right? Because now it means...
Well,
like let's watch Netflix and hook up.
Yeah, air quotes.
Yep.
Yeah, because it says here, because of the growth of technology, though, as well as the lifestyle that comes with online dating, it was eventually used in a sexual connotation for couples.
Uh-huh.
So, to me, I feel like Netflix and chill is just a dirty joke. Like, oh, Netflix and chill. Did you guys Netflix and chill? So like it's using conversation, not really in a date setting, but more of a friends setting, and kind of just coins, it just kind of gives an update on what you guys did.
Right.
So.
Because what if we legit Netflix and chilled? Like, what if the person just came over and watched Netflix with me?
Yeah, like literally Netflix and chilled.
Yeah.
And
that's what I do by myself sometimes on the weekends.
Yeah.
Just Netflix and chill by myself.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm actually an Amazon Prime member, and I like those Amazon Prime shows. So
they
Amazon
have really
Prime
good shows.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then the article goes into just different, everyone's different take on Netflix and chilling.
Because I do think it's generational.
Yeah, definitely. This one person said, me personally, if I want you, I'm just going to take you. Oh my gosh. So very direct and very forward. But I do agree on that too. If that's going to happen, it should happen naturally. Mm-hmm. There shouldn't be some sort of stipulation.
It shouldn't be forced.
Yeah, Netflix and chill sounds kind of forced, and maybe I think is overused. And then it just goes on to talk about online dating,
right?
Different ways and the benefits of online dating, how it's safer than meeting someone in person. Which there's a debate about.
Yeah,
that too.
there is a debate about that.
So that was this article. So if someone says to you, Emma, let's Netflix and chill, what should we do?
Block the person.
Block the person? Okay. Well, what does that tell you about somebody?
If I'm having a guy message that to me, as we're, sending messages over whatever app, or if I've given him my number and that's one of the first things that he texts me, it's just letting me know that he just wants to hook up, and I'm going to go with, I'm going to find another person.
Yeah, I think that if someone utters that phrase out of their mouth or out of their fingers, it's just move on, and they're not serious. They just like you said,
they just want to hook up.
They want to hook up.
It's not worth your time.
Yeah. So what I say, if you see that, I would say run for the hills. So, anyways, so that was that, and so. Emma, these were really loaded articles.
Yeah, they are.
Do you have any last kind of takeaways from both of these? Anything?
No, because I think I've said what I wanted to say for both of them.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have a takeaway?
I think, to me, I think also Netflix and chill. That also gives an expectation of something.
Oh yeah.
So my maybe there's like a connecting kind of thing here, but just on a first date, set your expectations low.
Yeah.
And even with Netflix and chill, but I don't know.
Well, I think that I don't know. I think maybe the purpose of Netflix and chill is to lessen the anxiety, because you're in the comfort of your house, you're doing something, you're watching something that you know. However, at the same time, it's again, it's more of a hookup than anything else. So
yeah,
is it really lessening your anxiety?
Yeah, I don't know. To be continued.
Ooh. All
right, so that's all what we have for today. We hope you enjoyed our show. If you have any questions or comments, you can contact us at hello@datepodcast.com or on @datepodcast on Instagram and Twitter. All right. See you guys later.
Bye.